The Amnesty program was established by the federal government to address the fundamental problem of injustice to a section of the country, rich but impoverished Niger Delta region, which was ravaged by environmental degradation as a result of oil exploration and exploitation activities. 4 years down the line, the story is an exciting one. Peace now reigns in the entire Niger Delta region. The production and exportation of oil from the country has been stabilized. The former agitators on the creeks of the Niger Delta region 3 years ago are now beginning to enjoy vocational training and scholarships in the best universities within and outside Nigeria. These youths have been totally reintegrated into the mainstream of Nigerian society. Indeed, since Honorable Kingsley Kuku was appointed Special Advisor to the President of Niger Delta Matters and Chairman of the Presidential Amnesty Program, with the full support of President Goodluck Jonathan, he has implemented to the letter the mandate of reintegrating the youths and giving them first-class training. This is to ensure that they become globally acceptable players in their different chosen professions. Indeed, the Amnesty program has exceeded the expectation of Nigerians because there's practical demonstration that money disbursed to the program has been most judiciously utilized. Today, the gains of the Presidential Amnesty program is better appreciated in the empowerment of youths through techno-vocational training and employment. Hundreds of the Niger Delta youths, otherwise called delegates, are undergoing various courses of study in different parts of the world. Out of a total 30,000 persons enlisted in the first, second, and third phases of the Presidential Amnesty program, an appreciable number of them, totaling 5,000, are currently undergoing training spread across 104 universities and 22 skilled acquisition centers in 28 countries and 19 training institutions in 8 states of the country. About 1,000 of them in the oil and gas sector have graduated and currently in training. 29 have graduated in drilling engineering in France. Over 13,000 delegates have graduated from local and foreign training centers in various skills acquisition programs. At a ceremony in Lagos recently, the youths who were deployed to Greece, United Arab Emirates, Germany, South Africa, England, and Jordan for training as pilots and aviation maintenance engineers were formally presented to the public. In attendance at the colorful ceremony were the members of the National Assembly, like Senator Abdul Ningi, Senator James Manager, and members of the House of Representatives, as well as other dignitaries. The chief hosts and President Goodluck Jonathan's Special Advisor on Amnesty Matters, Honorable Kingsley Kuku, introduced to the public 65 youths who trained and qualified as commercial pilots and 61 youths who trained and qualified as aircraft maintenance engineers. The training were carried out by world-class aviation companies like Boeing and Lufthansa.
They are products of what the federal government did. The federal government at the time, out of petitioning, sought to read that is government paying back violence. What about the other Niger Delta people who didn't carry arms? So they took this story to the Public Petitions Committee of Senate and House of Reps. And the National Assembly ordered me to communicate with the presidency and see where you can use some ways and means to accommodate in this program some number for educational programs in the realm of scholarship and specialized vocational programs. And Mr. President approved a number of 842. These are lucky beneficiaries of that Niger Delta impacted community slums. That is what you are. I am calling the media to take notice of this. This is the high point of today's event. It will be so unfair to them, unfair to this country, to say that ex-militants fly tomorrow on first page. So So we are type-rating them for the industry. Nobody will have excuse that they don't have type-rating.
Before the pilots trained by the Presidential Amnesty Program qualify to be given commercial pilot license that gives them a clean bill of health, so to speak, to launch full scale into flight operations, both locally and internationally, they have to go for the type rating course, which they are already undertaking in Oxford in the United Kingdom and Lufthansa in Germany. According to Daniel Alabra, Head Media and Communications of the Presidential Amnesty Program and Editor-in-Chief of Amnesty News, Lufthansa is to the aviation industry what Harvard is to Ivy League education at the very top. The pilots have to mandatorily undergo the jet type rating course so that they can be properly grounded to operate new generation aircraft like the Boeing and Airbus. Looked at from the point of view that about 65% of pilots flying in the Nigerian airspace are foreigners, the decision of the Amnesty Program to invest in this direction to empower Nigerian youths to bring the local content initiative to President Goodluck Jonathan's transformation program should be commended, and Engineer Ernest Mwapa spoke at length on this.
Essentially, this is a validation of the commitment of dearly beloved President Goodluck Jonathan towards sustainable development. There is nothing about sustainable development that does not start with human beings. It is these young men and women that will replace our aging crew, our aging professionals. If we don't have a tail, the animal will get extinct. So it's another set of kudos for you, Kingsley.
Current projections indicate that the commercial aviation industry would need more than 1 million new pilots and technicians to support the expanding demand for new airplane deliveries in the next 2 decades. Boeing says that by the year 2032, the world would require 498,000 new commercial airline pilots and 556 commercial airline maintenance engineers. Since the Amnesty Program began in 2010, a total of 16,683 Niger Delta youths have been sent to foreign universities and other vocational institutions to pursue courses in disciplines like political science, international relations, engineering, accounting, and medicine.
The intention of Amnesty Program is not to replace justice by creating another injustice. Within the elite circle, this amnesty is intended to speak for the people, and it's all about the people. It's about bringing up the near-decadent environment that the government in the not too far away, and trying to inculcate the sense of belonging, the sense of rightness, the sense of opportunities to all of you, so that as you are growing, you think about the history of the Niger Delta, you think about the history of this great country of ours, and you also think about the addition that the nation has provided for you to make that difference.
Reorganize around these young men here because you must be proud of your own product. Nigerian pilots are the best. If you go back to the days, of Nigerian Airways, you hear about Captain Brown. And Captain Bobedi, when he was flying, would have known that they know terrain better than foreign pilots. So when some Nigerians get into the plane and see a foreign pilot, they seem to give themselves confidence. That's not true. But when you see a Nigerian pilot who knows terrain, that is the man to trust. And after seeing this young man grilled and trained, one of them took me up without lighting that. He's a African. When he was about to fly, I looked at him and said, can I trust my life in the hands of this young man? But by the time he took off, and by the time he stabilized, night flight, he landed beautiful very well. Since all of the congratulations.
If I do not believe I have my own airline, I'm floating on Airpeace Airlines. If we do not believe in these boys, I do not have employed any of them. But I've set an example. I took one of them, and I'm promising the world that I'm going to take about 15 of them. I am very pleased to inform you that this is just the beginning of it, in line with the transformation agenda of Mr. President. Your number one fear is what next and where. Just before I left, the President personally directed that my office, and indeed myself, should work directly with Amnesty office towards making sure that all of you that are qualified get a gainful employment in Nigeria. Our president is indeed very aviation friendly. That has been said by earlier speakers, so I don't need to delve into that. But I will go into what I know best, talking to you, my junior colleagues, sons, daughters, and my brothers. What does it take to succeed online? My very senior colleague, Captain Pobene, has already said it. Discipline, discipline, discipline.
The Amnesty program for the female delegates, mainly vocation-based, coordinated by actress, social crusader Hilda Dokubo, proprietress of the Center for Creative Arts Education in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, has turned out graduates in agriculture, mathematics, English language, beading, fashion designing and tailoring, entrepreneurship, personal development, knitting, and interior design.
I'd like to thank the federal government of Nigeria for enabling this program for the Niger Delta youths. The most powerful tool to give any individual is education, because it actually exposes you to the world and makes you think differently. With this program, we are going to have future aviation ministers. We are going to have future aviation entrepreneurs.
Know your emergencies, just in case you have emergencies. And you can easily land the aircraft. You must know that, you must know what your aircraft is doing, and always at all time you must be able to fly ahead of the aircraft and not the aircraft flying ahead of you. So you must be able to fly ahead of the aircraft and always effectively communicate, which is very important.
Plans, and God gives his own wordings. I would plan to fly in Nigeria and have safety in my mind, but when it concerns the future of a man, it lies with God. I believe my future is in flying, but if God chooses another profession for me, I will definitely take that. But I know for sure that I will fly in Nigeria for the safety of Nigerians and for the safety of Nigerian businessmen.
The Bistiola to the show viewers will continue to collaborate in the weeks ahead with the Media and Communications Department of the Presidential Amnesty Office to adequately sensitize Nigerians on the gains recorded by the Presidential Amnesty Program, headed by Honorable Kingsley Kuku, President Jonathan's Special Advisor in Niger Delta and Chairman of the Amnesty Program.